Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and we are playing an unbanned deck here because in the Mirror Mirror event, there's a bunch of changes that they made to the banned cards to make them playable again. And so Oko is in this format, but he's not the typical Oko. He has 4 loyalty instead of, I think he had 6 before, like just busted amounts. He does, I think, all of the same abilities, but like A-Uro is changed a little bit in this one where it's almost all the same, except when he enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life and draw a card, but you do not put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. So reduce them a little bit. We have Wilderness Reclamation, doesn't untap all of your lands, just untaps 2 lands. We have Once Upon a Time. This spell is the first spell you cast this turn, you pay 1 instead of paying its mana cost. So instead of paying 0, you have to pay 1 there. And so you still have to cast it for the first turn to be able to get the ability, and so it's less good, and so we're trying to play as many of these cards that are unbanned as possible in this deck, while I'm not sure if they're actually that much better. In fact, I just realized I want another Llanowar instead of that. We also have Veil of Summer, which does the exact same thing it did before, but it's 2 mana instead of 1 mana here. And so I am actually really excited to see this kind of thing. And the important thing here is that Wizards is actually looking into potentially changing these cards. And so there is a chance that in the future, at some point, they're just like, okay, instead of banning this card, because this card is played mostly digital anyway, especially in the standard formats, like if it's only going to be banned in standard or historic, which are the 2 formats that aren't played anywhere else except for on Arena, then just change the card. Like that's all that matters. Just do that. And if it works, that's so much better than actually banning cards and not having the ability anymore. It changes so much of the format whenever that happens, where A-Uro not being able to put a land from the hand onto the battlefield does make it a lot weaker, but the ability to just have it escape, the ability to still just gain 3 life and draw cards is still a really powerful turn 3 play. And so it's still totally playable, but I don't think quite ban worthy. We'll see in this deck right now. So let's go ahead and dive into the gameplay, see how it does for it. The basic idea of this deck is we have Gilded Goose, Oko, and Wicked Wolf for the food stuff there. And then we have A-Uro, Nissa, Sublime Epiphany, just because we are ramping up, still untapping some lands, all that kind of stuff. And then some just good spells that we can cast because we're playing Wilderness Reclamation, that we have some 2 mana spells to be able to fling whenever we need to or use, and that's it. Okay, let's dive into it. Here we go. So real quick note, these are not actually fully unbanned. They are just available because for the event. I'm going to keep this hand. It's a little bit awkward without having extra good stuff, but Veil of Summer can potentially be nice here, and we're just hoping to run into a 3-drop at some point. The main idea of this deck is to get out a 1-drop, get out one of our awesome 3-drops with Oko or A-Uro, and then just kind of outvalue them from there. Gilded Goosey. Yeah, everyone's playing all of these same cards. There's quite a few other cards that are unbanned as well. We'll see which ones we end up seeing. I'm excited to see what happens. All right, Gilded Goose. So if they play a blue or black spell this turn, all right, so pass the turn. So they may be playing blue. Llanowar. Okay. We also could just get up to Sublime Epiphany pretty quick, which isn't the worst. It's not like amazing or anything, but it's not the worst. You know, I'm actually going to go ahead and draw a card now with Growth Spiral. Try to find something else to do here this turn. All right, well, that gets us up to Sublime Epiphany. And I think casting these sooner than later will at least give us something to do. Pass the turn. Because we get to draw cards, we get to return something of theirs, counter activate ability or something like that. Yeah, so we'll do that on the next turn. All right, so they are playing blue stuff. This doesn't actually protect us from this, unfortunately. All right, so yeah, gets to kill a Goosey Goose. That's fine. All right, so no more Sublime Epiphany unless we find a land. I mean, that's pretty good too, I've decided. So they do have food token here, so we're gonna have to protect the Nissa a little bit, but I think that's fine. All right, which land am I untapping? We actually don't have that many lands. I don't want this to die. So bring out the island, do not attack, pass the turn. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Noxious Grasp. Really?
I must go.
I did not expect that whatsoever. There's an Oko. Turns us into an elk.
I will invert the world to watch kings grovel. I think a little merriment is in order.
Doesn't attack with the Wicked Wolf. Interesting. All right. All right, so we do have Sublime Epiphany. We could potentially counter the effect of whatever he does here. Creating food tokens is at least decent just with Wicked Wolf there as well. I think we hold off until we can get more stuff, potentially countering a spell or whatever else. So pass the turn for now. I could have bounced the Wicked Wolf, hit in with the island just to get Oko down a little bit more, but Wicked Wolf's ETB effect would come in again. Okay, Krasis. That's definitely not the best thing to counter, but we can also counter the effect, which is actually really good. So let's go ahead and use it now. So counter spell, activated ability, or return all in permanent. Yep, all of the things. All right, so that spell, that ability, return Oko, and create a copy of Goose or Llanowar. Let's go Goose, and we draw a card. So all of the effects, not too shabby. That completely shuts down the Hydra Krasis, all of the mana they spent. Gives them extra turn to have to find stuff with Oko. Wicked Wolf can swing in, but then we have our own Oko. Although we probably will hold off with the other Sublime Epiphany now. I can swing in and trade off with an island. With a Wicked Wolf if we wanted to. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that necessarily. So let's just pass the turn. All right, so another Sublime Epiphany. Counterspell. Oh, could they have Veil of Summer as well? Oh, right. Let's bounce Llanowar. Create a copy of, I guess, another Gilded Goose, draw a card. So if they have Veil of Summer, we'll still be able to create a copy and draw a card, which is good enough. Okay, they didn't have Veil of Summer. That's big. They get to replay Llanowar Elves. Doesn't actually get to add mana, though, for a turn. Which means they can't make food for Wicked Wolf. Over on Tomb tapped. All right, play out the forest. Let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead and Growth Spiral now. I feel okay shocking ourselves here to get out another forest, another just better colors there. So yeah, play out Oko. I can turn this into a 3/3. I could also turn our island into a 3/3, I believe. Is it non-land? And make it a 6/6 and start swinging in, which could be pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and try this out. Swing in with the 6/6. We have Veil of Summer held up in case they cast something with blue. They will have Noxious Revival, Noxious Grasp still available. Potentially. Noxious Grasp. All right, Veil of Summer. Yeah! Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone's playing with the same unbanned cards in this event, but man, they're so good. So good. All right, I'm getting some Firearm Knight, and we'll keep this one. Decent hand. Growth Spiral for the ramp. Play Breeding Pool tapped. Yep, some good stuff here. Mind Stone. Teferi is also available in this format. It's just 4 mana instead of whatever else. And so it actually, if they're playing out a Teferi on this next turn, maybe I should hold up the Decisive Denial. So Botanical Sanctum, pass the turn, we'll hold up Growth Spiral and Decisive Denial. Mind Stone. That also might be worth denying. Since that's basically what they're doing this entire turn, it could stop them from casting a second spell for this turn. Growth Spiral is pretty good, but we don't actually have a guarantee land. I guess with double draw, we could be okay. Let's go and Growth Spiral now then, in case they have a counter spell. Get this out now. Plays out a land. Yeah, so we need to hit the land. So play out A-Uro. Draw a card. Gain 3 life. Hopefully hit a land that we can then play. Wow. Okay, that's a little bit rough. Yeah, that's a big bummer. 7 cards. We're not discarding. Wow. I don't like that. Yeah, there's Teferi Time Raveler. I believe everything else is the same. Did they really keep it at 5 loyalty as well for that one? Not sure I agree with that. All right, I can play out Goose just to guarantee that I get some ramp out and Growth Spiral. I can't cast stuff at sorcery speed anymore. A-Uro can draw his cards, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. So I feel like it's we're gonna go Growth Spiral first. Not a land. Wow. Dude, what is up with this? 14 cards deep, only 3 lands. And we had lots of ways, lots of digs early game. Alrighty then. And we only found one of our things here. Yeah, so yeah, gets rid of the token, draws a card. Getting to A-Uro is going to be important. Torrential Gearhulk, yeah. And there's the Magma Opus. We can't cast the Veil of Summer, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and be done here. Yeah, Magma Opus at that point, yeah, that's disgusting. Dude, Teferi Time Raveler, 4 mana and having it be the exact same card is not a good enough change. Not at all. The issue is that it's just a busted effect. All right, up against Banjo, and we'll keep this hand because of the Once Upon a Time. So keep this. Yeah, paying for 1 makes this a lot worse as well. We have the 2 copies of it here, mostly just for the fun of playing it, but it is a very different card indeed. So play out Sanctum, play this for 1. I guess we're grabbing a land, although we have plenty of those. 2 Oko'S to the bottom, yay. We have plenty of blue mana, so I think I'm just grabbing a forest for Nissa. Pass the turn. And Once Upon a Time, as an instant speed, digging 5 deep for a creature or land is still actually a really decent card. Cleansing Wildfire. Oh. I forgot that you could just do that with indestructible stuff, huh? Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. Okay, pass the turn. Okay, so Fire of Invention. All right, Decisive Denial, we will get rid of that. Thank you. All right, create that, pass the turn. Wilderness Reclamation will help a little bit here. Chandra. Alrighty.
What? My hair is on fire? Yup, you're going down.
We actually don't have tons of ways to get rid of this. Okay, Once Upon a Time. Grab waste ramp. We have plenty of lands in hand. I want an A-Uro. This is filling our graveyard a little bit more, but I'm not sure if we'll have the lands to actually get there. So let's grab... We need a threat at some point, though. Let's go and grab A-Uro. Gets rid of the blue mana. Play out Uro does not give us the extra land, just the draw. That's so many lands. I mean, in this matchup, I'm happy to have lands, but we also need at least a threat at some point for this Chandra. Yeah, no attacks. Come on, deck. Even Oko to turn this Goose into a 3/3 would be pretty decent. Valakut Awakening. Yep. Goes and digs for more stuff. How many cards in the graveyard? All right, 5. We need 5 other cards. So 1 more card in the graveyard, we're good. Is there a way that we could do that sooner than later? I don't think so. Throw this out on blue, play out Wilderness Rec. We at the least can keep making food, holding up Velsummer. Velsummer doesn't do anything in this matchup, unfortunately, which is why we only have 2 of it. No attacks. I decided that wasn't a good idea. Untap those. We're gonna cast Velsummer simply to get Uro into the grave, or Uro available. They have to destroy 2 lands on this turn, which they have the ability to do. A little bit terrifying. And then Chandra goes off.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Anger of the Gods. Yeah, so that's fine. It dies into exiles, which means that Uro does not get to come back with that. So we are gonna cast Veil of Summer. And then cast Uro. And Uro should be pretty difficult for them to deal with. Chandra's ability is annoying, but we do actually have plenty of life gain, and so we're kind of okay. We can at least like gain life from the food every turn, so if they go for the emblem, that's annoying. But it also gets rid of Chandra. We have Uro to still hit in with. They're playing things like Anger of the Gods, which hopefully means they don't have too much else. Star of Extinction. Oh, nice. All right, well, let's gain some life. Yeah, that's 3 cards into the graveyard, which, I mean, we're all set up for with Uro. Yay. Okay, play Uro. Draw a card. Sublime Epiphany. That's actually a pretty good card. Shock this in. Pass the turn, untap, untap. All right, we have to be playing anything we can on blue. They're purposely making sure that a lot of damage goes through with this. All right, Stone Rain. Yeah, Fires of Invention with double destroy land spells at each turn is ridiculous. Yeah, having that in Historic, oh my goodness, yeah, that's awful. We're gonna have to build another deck for this with like Teamer or something, because that actually sounds really fun and awful all at the same time. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just gain some more life. The dealing 5 damage is the thing that we're most terrified of at the moment. We can play out an Uro. I really want Sublime Epiphany here. Let's play out Llanowar. Untap. All right, so Sublime Epiphany. See, I do all of the things. Oh, actually, wait, cancel. We don't want to return target non-land permanent. So these ones. All right, so counter spell, counter activated ability, create a copy, and gain and draw a card. All right. There's a Nissa. Okay, now we're in really good shape. We probably ought to be attacking in for damage a little bit more, but let's do this. Play out Nissa. Untap. Do you think that they have removal for this? Doesn't seem like it. All right, so we can also play A-Uro then. All right, so we have plenty of life gain going, which has been awesome. They probably have another Star of Extinction, which is terrifying. Oh, I forgot I didn't have to pay for it to be untapped. Oh, well. Anger of the Gods. 5 damage to Nissa. Or to A-Uro to make sure it dies. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can find a Decisive Denial. Any other spell means that they get to kill this. Yeah, okay. They should send the 5 damage at face. Okay, yeah. There you go. Good job. A-Uro, I believe, got exiled as well. Oh, come on. No lands now. Oh, no! Wow, man, we're just getting it taken to us. They've got to run out of gas at some point. I guess not really. Star of Extinction. 5 damage to face. That's all they're going for. Any spell that they can cast is good. We need threats. All right, that's a decent threat. All right, no more untapping blue mana. Force them to have the spells to deal with it. Down to 14. Untap, untap. Pass the turn. Star of Extinction. Okay, Storm's Wrath does, yeah, kill the Nissa. Dang it. For the love. Oh, man, this is rough. We're still in it, though, which is the hard part. It's like, I would have quit earlier. Okay, there's a Nugan. 5 damage to phase. Yeah. I believe that's it for us. Just gets rid of Wilderness Reclamation. It does nothing. The damage would have done a lot more for you there. Sublime Epiphany. I could counter the ability when he uses it, bring it back to hand. On their end step or something like that. I don't want to give them a chance to play it again though. So I guess we're passing the turn. See if they cast anything here. If they cast anything, we can bounce Ugin and be fine. And by fine, I mean kind of okay with ourselves a little bit. All right, take the 3 there. Plays out land. Do we use this to draw a card now? I don't think so. I think we actually wait. Yeah. See, this is actually a lot better. Oh man, this is gonna be difficult. Okay, so play out Nissa. Oh, I was thinking we're gonna have enough mana to do everything. So untap a forest. hit Ugin. They have to not have a spell here. I was thinking we were gonna have enough mana with Nissa, but I miscalculated. Yep. And we'll concede. We don't actually have enough mana for it. It's just letting us try to target and then fail. Oops. All right, up against Kittle. All right, we have the turn 2 Oko. You know what's something I haven't actually seen in our hand yet out of 4 games is a Wicked Wolf. And a Wicked Wolf would actually be really good in a lot of situations. So let's hope for that one. Llanowar, pass the turn. All right, everyone typically has to hold up Counterspell on turn 2 for Oko. Let's see if people remember the rules on what's supposed to happen here. There's our own Decisive Denial. I mean, when we have the Oko, we go for the Oko. It's just what you do.
I will invert the world to watch kings grovel and
Could turn Llanowar into a 3/3 right now, which actually does give us quite a bit of power. We'll go for this though. All right, so it's -5 instead of whatever it was before. To exchange control of a target artifact or creature you control. Yeah, and this is also not a +1 as well. It's a -2, which is a big deal. So yeah, all the things that needed to have changed in the past, they finally did them. All right, so Decisive Denial is going to be important for this next turn. So we're going to make sure that we keep that up. All right, so Forest, Llanowar, turn this into an elk.
dear.
Llanowar again, swing in. All right, holding up Decisive Denial, pass the turn, down to 17. And now, I mean, I feel like we're in pretty decent shape. 6 power on board, Counterspell in hand. Could technically just replay it. But this could also get rid of a Brazen Borrower this way. Let's go ahead and just let that resolve. That's fine. If they have a counterspell, we actually have the Decisive Denial to deny the denial. Play out Oko. I could turn a Llanowar into a 3/3. Let's go ahead and, since they spent so much time focusing on Oko, getting this much power on board is actually really good. Now we have 8 power on board. The -2 on Oko, if they don't have any other answers here, means that we have lethal. Three more cards though. So yeah, if we draw into a counter spell or something like that, then we're in much better shape. Plays up Brazen Borrower. Bounces the token. All right, so no chance for lethal now, unfortunately. It's a lot of lands. All right, so Oko is dead on the next turn. I think that in that case, we do just go ahead and turn this into an elk. I'd rather get the damage dealt. Have them be hard threats to deal with. Down to 3, pass the turn. Did they just end their turn? Good game. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Oh my goodness. Yeah, discontinuity. Maybe they were doing it just for the memes of doing it, but the times that you play discontinuity is on the opponent's turn, which Wilderness Reclamation will help with that. Oh, that is hilarious. And then you can use it on your turn to stop someone's effect to make their thing not work, whatever. It's like that can be good, but that was hilarious. All right, guys. So that was the unbanned list there, and I actually am a huge fan of this format. I really hope that they do these things. Like, I think Oko at this loyalty and having not 2 +1 effects, like just having a +1 and a -2, actually is somewhat like okay. Like it's not terrible, because if you -2 right away, it dies to a stomp or a shock or whatever, or to lots of creatures really quickly. If it was always just ticking up and at 5 loyalty, so 6 loyalty immediately, it was just ridiculous. It never died, and it was able to control the board way too effectively. At this point, I think it's still a very powerful planeswalker, but not so powerful that like they did a good job. Where I don't think the right thing is just to have it be gone. I think the right thing is to have it be changed to this. And this is decent. A-Uro, same type of thing. I kind of wish that they took away the draw card and just put stuff like be able to put land from your hand. Well, maybe not actually. Being able to draw a card every time that you attack with it and gain 3 life is a really big deal. And so actually A-Uro still really busted. It's just in the right colors for everything. Wicked Wolf, Gilded Goose. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think these things will come back with Throne of Eldraine, but maybe they'll make these changes for Historic after the rotation happens, and that would be really, really cool. Veil of Summer definitely wasn't as good being at 2 mana, but still a powerful enough effect that it would be in the sideboard, but not in the main deck. It would be in the sideboard. Once Upon a Time, I don't think it's quite playable anymore. Having it only cost 1 for the first time that you do it, it's a decent effect, but the whole benefit is that you can cast that and something else on the turn 1. And so honestly, Once Upon a Time is dead. Wilderness Reclamation, untapping 2 target lands. I think that it's still playable, but I think it's more of like a combo deck with like Lotus Gardens and things like that. Like the lands that tap for lots of mana and make it even better. So if you have any auras that are also making a land tap for more mana, you untap that land and all of a sudden it becomes a really, really useful land, and you get tons of extra mana. And so that's the kind of thing you do with Wilderness Reclamation, where it is a really good effect still, but not untapping all of the lands does change a lot. Like it makes it harder to cast things like Sublime Epiphany the turn after you cast the Nissa, and so it's fun. It's interesting. I'm excited to see if they actually make this a thing, because I think that would be a really good thing. So anyway, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Is this a good enough change for Oko and Uro? Would you want these guys back in the format if these things were changed? They also changed Omnath in this format as well, to instead of entering the battlefield and drawing a card, you enter the battlefield and scry a card. I think everything else is the exact same though, and I'm not sure that just having a minimized ETB effect actually makes it better. I think the issue is that it gives 4 mana. Like the things that the Wizards fix on this sometimes is kind of like you don't get it. You don't get it. And so we're gonna build a deck on this next one that's gonna have all of the good stuff, because there's a busted deck to build here. And so, all right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.